You keep imagining different versions of yourself. A more confident version. A more disciplined version. A version that wakes up earlier, talks better, looks better, feels different, and somehow, that imagined version starts feeling more real than the person sitting here right now. Visual. Person sitting alone scrolling phone at night. Maybe it happens while scrolling social media. Maybe late at night. Maybe after watching someone who seems like they have everything together. And quietly, your brain starts leaving reality. Not completely. Just enough to imagine becoming someone else. Visual. Slow-moving light patterns. Most people think this means ambition. Dream bigger. Work harder. Become better. But psychologically, something deeper can happen. Sometimes imagination becomes emotional escape. Not escape from life. Escape from discomfort. Visual. Abstract brain animation. Your brain constantly creates future simulations. Cognitive science shows the mind predicts possibilities naturally. Normally, this helps planning, decision-making, problem-solving. But when stress, self-doubt, or emotional pressure grows quietly, the brain starts using imagination differently. Not to prepare, to leave. Visual. Small figure standing between multiple doors. Think about identity like a home. A stable identity feels familiar, safe. You know who you are. But when identity feels uncertain, the brain starts wandering, looking for emotional shelter. Another personality. Another future. Another version of yourself. Visual. Person looking into mirror showing different shadow. Social media makes this stronger. Not because phones are bad. Because comparison changes perception. Your brain naturally asks, where do I fit? How am I doing? Who am I becoming? But online, you compare your normal life to someone else's highlights. Your nervous system quietly believes, maybe becoming someone else will finally feel better. Visual. Floating masks around small figure. Behavioral psychology explains another layer. Imagining better futures creates emotional reward. Dopamine becomes active during possibility. Expectation. Anticipation. Which means fantasizing can temporarily feel comforting. Not because imagination is bad. Because relief feels good. Visual, abstract brain pathways glowing softly. Think about late-night scrolling. Watching disciplined people. Successful people. Confident people. For a moment, you imagine becoming completely different. And emotionally, that feels safer than facing where life feels difficult right now. So the cycle repeats. Visual. Waves moving slowly. But over time, something strange happens. You stop building your actual identity. Because mentally, you are always preparing to become another person. Real growth feels slower. Progress feels invisible. Because imagination quietly moved the finish line. Visual. Person walking toward moving horizon. But this does not mean stop imagining. Imagination matters. Growth matters. The goal is changing your relationship with it. First, ask yourself, am I planning or escaping? That question creates awareness. Awareness interrupts automatic patterns. Visual. Notebook with one sentence written. Second, build identity through evidence, not fantasy. Instead of imagining becoming confident, practice one honest conversation. Instead of imagining discipline, do one small action consistently. Behavior shapes identity. Small proof becomes self-belief. Visual. Small stones forming staircase. Third, allow yourself unfinished growth. You do not need to become someone else overnight. Identity develops slowly, quietly, like a tree growing roots underground before anyone sees movement above. Visual. Tree growing slowly alone. Maybe the version of yourself you imagine exists for a reason. Not to replace who you are. To show what matters. Peace. Confidence. freedom, growth. Your brain imagined different versions of yourself beautifully. Maybe now, it learns something new. You do not need to become someone else. To become more fully yourself.